I am Dara. We are talking about cars. Mini Cooper, Peugeot 544. Mazda 323. This was another of the Japanese cars that was very much loved by Zimbabweans, and is a chance as equal as any of the cars on this list to be the ultimate people's car. It served the citizens with distinction in almost all spheres of industry and commerce and social life because of its outstanding fuel economy, reliability, and practicality. The 323 was marketed as the Mazda Familia, and this is the 6th generation Mazda Familia built in Japan from 1985 to 1994. Production continued outside Japan until the last was built in Colombia in 2004. In Zimbabwe, the 323 was assembled by Willowvale Mazda Motor Industries from 1987 to the year 2000. This was the ultimate runaround company car because it was not an overtly fancy car, but it was such a decent car that even company managers would not be out of place in it. It was popular with sales reps and the down-to-earth men who did not need much from a car other than reliability and decency. It was a car that would look as good in a church car park as it did emausweni kugoch that's a span. What else would a car need in order to be recognized as the people's car? When I worked as a journalist in my previous life, this was the pull car. When you arrived for an assignment, either driving it or being driven in it, you somehow commanded some aura of respect. The downside of this car was that it was a bit pricey, yet it was not so flashy. So if you got a bit more to spend on a car, you'd rather have bought a Sunny or an Opel Astra or the bigger X-Jump Nissans and the Toyota Mark IIs. But this one might have an edge because it was favored by corporates and used as company cars. The diesel sedans did well as taxis too. The masses used them, including their families. Those who used them were not disappointed. I used it as a company car as well, and I can tell you firsthand how reliable this car was. Ngansebenza Harare. Ngansebenza Harare. What do Masal? Let's show me. Right? So at times, I'd wake up on a Saturday morning, just feeling bored, and wondering, how could I spend the weekend? Then I just decided, what in chai passing yoga blower. Just like that, the same way I could have decided, let me go for America. 5-6 hours later. Saying it's guitar, but it's saying guitar, there's choice. It's guitar, one truth. The next day, ngizihambele ngiyobukela ibhoso, ungaba ibhoso eBF, ungaba uSuthu, eyabaZulu, ungaba ichauya chikwata kumbeni njanji Real Stars. Yeah, Koblawayo, they had 4 teams in the Premier League then. And then about 6-7, so in Chapas, all I only made sure would have been that I had at least a full tank. The full tank was 55 liters, and that would be enough for the 1.5 liter engine to take me to Blues and back. In addition to sham around acres. This was around 2001 and 2002, and it was at the height of petrol shortages. One night, yakanditsukira ndakuNorton on the way back. That was about 40, 50 kilometers. But I got home and proceeded to work the next morning and even drove to Masasa. That is where we refueled. That's how amazing the fuel efficiency of this car was. This car is a definite contender for the people's car. Did you know that Mazda started its life as a Coke manufacturer back in 1920? Not that type of Coke. The Coke, the stopper for sealing wine bottles. Yeah, it was just a name. But anyway, the stopper for sealing wine bottles. The name Mazda comes from Ahura Mazda, the god of harmony, intelligence, and wisdom from the early civilization in West Asia. Mazda was also a perfect way to respect the company's founder, whose family name was Matsuda, which is pronounced very close to Mazda. Mazda. And it? Good.
As you can see, with that we introduced cork into the interior of the MX-30 under the center console, but also in the door grip. And with the cork, we're introducing, of course, a functional element in the center console, but also we're bringing the nature into the car because we're using real cork, and you can actually still feel the texture of the cork. And then last but not least, with the cork, we're actually introducing the history of our company into the car, because as you might know, 100 years ago we started Mazda as a cork manufacturing company.